What's up with y'all, pod, man? I hope everything's been going well for everyone watching today. Let me know what y'all been up to, what's been transpiring in y'all lives. I made an episode yesterday, didn't like the way it came out. So today, I'm going to try to talk better as I speak on the subject that we're going to be going over today, which y'all might have seen by the title what that subject will be. But yeah, man, let me know what's been going on in y'all's lives. Let me know how life's been treating y'all. And today's episode 15, I believe. Maybe 16, I don't know. Y'all will see me pop it up on the screen right here. And yeah, let's jump straight into it. I hope y'all like the background, It's a beautiful day out today. Today I was off of work, so I was like, why not come out here, get an episode done, even though I did one yesterday, didn't like it, and try somewhere new. I was just exploring. I seen this place. I was like, oh, I'm finna sit right here. I had another angle, but it wasn't that good in my opinion. This is a lot better and it's a lot more secure. The other place, I was worried that my phone was gonna fall over and go into the water, but I'm way closer to the water now, but it is what it is. I feel like it's more secure on this rock that it's on right now. But yeah, that's beside the point. We're gonna jump straight into it. So I want to talk today about disappointment with y'all, and basically confronting your true emotions to get to where you want to be in life and to become your true successful self, right? And these are things that I struggle with. I feel like I'm a person that likes to avoid how I feel and worry about how other people feel, if that makes sense. And I'm a person that likes to put other people first. But when you're trying to become successful and get to know your true self and become your true self, you have to start putting yourself first. And people don't speak on that enough, and people don't explain to y'all the journey of that and the struggles that come with that journey, So yeah, I want to talk to y'all about that journey for me, what it's been like so far, what the struggles I went through, and all those things. So one of the main things I want to talk about is disappointment. Disappointment is a thing that I struggle with in myself and in others a lot. And it's not me having a godlike complex or anything like that. I did a journal entry yesterday about this subject, the subject of disappointment and that was the first time I've done a journal entry in almost 4 months. So it felt good to, write down how I was feeling and talk about to myself and put it into words and on a piece of paper on how I was feeling. And basically it helped me realize that my feelings are valid and that God has made me this way for a reason and for a bigger purpose than I may be able to see right now, and that the people that are truly disappointing me may be able to see because they don't understand me, right? And the reasoning behind that and the explanation behind that is the simple fact that I think mentally I'm ahead of a lot of people my age. I feel like I think very, very far into the future. I don't feel like that. I know I do. Maybe a bit too much, and even I'm willing to admit that. But I don't see an issue with it because I'd rather think too far in the future than too far in the past or too much in the moment. But I think there's nothing wrong with being too much in the moment. I think thinking too far in the past is definitely a problem, that people got to get over. Because at the end of the day, the past has nothing but negatives, and the past can't be changed. But your future can be changed because that is not set. Everything you do today, everything you do when you wake up to the end of the day, those 24 hours of you living, besides like the 8 hours you lose from sleep. So, it's not really 24 hours, but you know what I'm trying to say. But basically, what you achieve in that day could lead to have a bigger impact in the future than you may know. And one thing I've been doing is locking in recently. I've been in the gym for I always worked out, but I'm now in the gym officially, and it's been like that for 4 months. That's why I've been a little bit that's why I've been slacking on the pod. There's no excuse. I was able to get this done when I had a lot more going on in my life, and I was able to get out here and really crank them. I was cranking out videos, I was dropping them, and I was getting a good consistent amount of viewers, and then I just stopped. I went on this break because I was going through it a little bit mentally, and I had a conversation with y'all on the last episode that I did about that and how that has impacted me recently, right? But recently I've really been suffering mentally with disappointment. And what I mean by that is being multiple different forms of disappointment. And the major ones are what people say, what people do, and those two just really seem to get under my skin and make me overthink about what those things are. And For some reason, I don't know why, but I think it's because God has constructed my brain to just simply think like, you're feeling disappointment because you see yourself doing better, and then you're settling for less. Someone might say something that disappoints you, but you're still going to go and conversate with those people. You're still going to go and hang out with those people, or you're still going to talk to those people, right? Or someone might do something that's totally outrageous to you, but you're still going to go hang out with them, and you're still going to basically validate them for that action, which is not okay. I don't think you should lower your standards in any way, shape, or form, and that's something that I've been trying to get over recently, and it's been a big bump in the road, but I'm getting over it. I don't lower my standards basically when talking to people, like especially with females. You can't lower your standards or else you will get taken advantage of as a man, and it's sad to say, but that's just the reality we live in. And so I definitely don't do that. I definitely had done that at one point, but that's no longer me. That was part of my growth journey, was learning myself and learning my standards, and that my standards are valid. Don't listen to other people, even if it's your homies telling you that your standards too high. Don't listen to the female if the female's telling you gotta lower your standards, or you gotta stop thinking like that. There's nothing wrong with the way you think. There's nothing wrong with what you do. You're your own person. This is your life. This is your life to live. So the way you go about that and the way you go about your life, there's nothing wrong with that, right? No one's God. No one could tell you that, oh, you're wrong for thinking that way. You're wrong for doing that, or you're wrong for saying that. There's nothing wrong with what you do. So stop listening to other people. Unless God is telling you that you're doing something incorrect, don't listen to other people, because they're not God. You're not here to tell other people that what they're doing wrong, and people aren't here to tell you what you're doing wrong. I truly do think that. So when I feel disappointment from people, I'm not going to go out my way to tell them that they disappointed me in that way, shape, or form. I'm not going to be like, you said something that was disappointing for me to hear, you did something that was disappointing for me to see, or you acted a way that disappointed me. I'm not going to do that. But at the end of the day, I get in my thoughts and in my head, and I just constantly overthink about those things that may have disappointed me throughout the day. And yesterday I was talking about this encounter I had with this lady while I was writing down in my journal, and I was at this trail, and her dog ran up to me, and I started petting her dog, because I'm not really scared of the dog. Like, if it's gonna bite me, it's gonna bite me. It is what it is. That's my fault for reaching my hand out and trying to pet her. But other people might be disappointed and start acting some type of way if the dog bit them, or whatever the case may have been. But for me, the dog was cool. I started petting the dog, and then the lady said hi, so I said, hi, how are you? And she ignored me. And I did feel slight disappointment in that moment, because I was like, dang, you just kind of are ignoring me. That's a little bit condescending. But then my brain was like, it is what it is. At the end of the day, I'm not going to be bothered by it, and I'm only bringing it up now because it's a good example. It's not that I care about it. I went to sleep and I didn't even think about it until now, because I'm giving y'all the example of that. I don't want to give y'all like really in-depth examples that I have to deal with in my daily life, but I would say my disappointment comes a lot of the time from maybe random encounters, family, friends, or the females that I may be talking to at the time, or that I may have an encounter with, right? And I think that's because I set myself to this mental standard that I am already in my future self's shoes, if that makes sense. So mentally, I'm already where I am in the future, which means I already am successful. I already own all those businesses that I know I'm going to own. I already own all those cars. I already own the materialistic things, but I already am there mentally, right? And the materialistic things don't matter, but having freedom financially definitely helps your mental, right? And people don't talk about that enough either. There's nothing wrong with having a little bit slight bit of material, of being materialistic. My bad, y'all. There's nothing wrong with being materialistic a little bit. Don't be overly materialistic, though, because if you're overly materialistic, then you're just a gold digger, in my opinion, or you're just doing something expecting a reward, or expecting something that is a material. Like, let's say, for example, you turn 16 or you turn 18, whatever it is that your parents let you start driving, and they can afford to buy you a car, so you're expecting a car. But then when you don't get that car, you are very disappointed, right? Me personally, I didn't have that, and I'm very humble and glad that I didn't have that. I don't know if y'all seen my vlog. I think I talked about it in 2 episodes ago, about me getting a car. Or was it an episode ago? It was either 2 or 1 episode ago. I brought up on my regular channel, which is down in one of these corners, how I dropped the vlog about my car, right? But at the end of the day, my car also disappointed me because I was disappointed in myself, because at this age I already expected myself to be so successful and on top of business that I would own a car. I would be able to buy my own first car myself and be able to invest into that, and get it written off with my LLC and all of those things. That's not what happened, and I'm very thankful for what I do have. I do have gratitude for what I have, but I don't have comfortability with what I have, if that makes sense, you know? Like, I'm very thankful for where I'm at. I'm blessed. I thank God every day for waking me up, breathing air into my lungs, excuse me again, and for giving me the opportunity to come out here and talk to y'all and give me the opportunity to live every day, because not everyone gets that opportunity, right? And I really have made it far compared to where I used to be. Like I said, that's something that we will talk about one day, but right now I just don't want to talk about that on my pod. And there's nothing wrong with being a little bit materialistic. You know, when you come from nothing, it's only right that you want other things. But for me, I'm not materialistic in the sense that I want a better car, I want a nicer car than what I currently have. I just seen myself being able to afford that car because of all the hard work that I would have put in to start my business. That's not what happened, and therefore it led me to be very disappointed in myself. So I don't know if that's me being hard on myself. I don't know if that's me being mentally confined or whatever, but y'all can let me know down in the comments what y'all think on that. But me personally, I see it as a positive. I think God has blessed me with this complex mindset to where I'm not comfortable with where I'm at. I have a job interview tomorrow. Is tomorrow? No, I have a job interview Monday. Tomorrow's Sunday. I have a job interview Monday, and it's going to be a new job. It's going to be a new scenery, right? And that's because I'm standing on business on the fact that I told myself when I got hired at my current job, I won't work there for a year. And it's going to be a year. At the beginning of April, I believe it will be a year. And I told myself I wasn't going to work there for a year. And I also was getting very fed up with work. Work has been my whole life recently, and I don't want that to be what I don't want work to be what I live for, right? I don't want to just go to work, go home, and sleep. I don't want to go to work, go to the gym, and sleep, or cook and go to sleep. Whatever I do during the day, I want to be able to have my life happen and then go to work. And right now, I'm at a 9 to 5, so I'm settling for my schedule, which isn't even a 9 to 5. I work overnight schedule, so therefore I have to sleep during the day, or I have to go to bed very early. And when I don't go to bed very early, I'm led to be very tired during the day, and then I go home and I just knock out in my bed. Like, I'll just go home and just be chilling in my gaming chair and I'll go to sleep, or I'll be chilling watching YouTube and I'll go to sleep. And it's just my body just shuts down because I'm just working so much and not sleeping, or I'm working and sleeping in the day. It's very hard to get done what I want to do on a daily basis when my life revolves around work. So therefore, I want to change that, and I want to have a schedule to where my life is my life, and then comes work. And then eventually, I want to be to where I don't even need to worry about work. Work is basically my life, right? And what I mean is not me having my life be around work, that my daily life is part of work. Basically meaning, like, I'm so successful that my vlogs make me money, my podcast makes me money, my life makes me money, because at the end of the day I want to post lifestyle content. That's why I come out here and I'm very real with y'all. I'm very real with how I am, or what I'm going through, or what I may have been through, whatever the case may be, or whatever the topic may be that I'm talking about, right? So I think people just need to be able to admit their true feelings to become successful, and that's what I've been able to do. And I think that's why I find myself being disappointed so much, right? Because mentally I'm already where I need to be successful, but I'm just not successful yet. So therefore I am stuck in these positions to where I have to deal with people that maybe aren't where I want to be, or that maybe don't say certain things that I wish to not be said to me, or whatever the case may be. I'm just not recognized, maybe because I'm not successful yet. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're not condescending. You don't have a godlike complex for thinking that way, at least in my opinion. Maybe y'all disagree, maybe y'all agree. That's why I didn't post the video I made yesterday about this topic, because I wasn't really wording it correctly, right? I was more stuck on trying to explain to y'all and over explain, and I was overthinking the explanation about how to explain to y'all that I don't have a godlike complex and I'm not condescending. At the end of the day, I don't really care what many people think, right? I don't care what anyone really thinks, but at the end of the day, you have to you have to care what someone thinks when you do certain things, right? Like at work, if I mess up, then I care what my manager might say or might think, right? So that's just how it is. So I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all and say I don't care what anyone thinks. I do think I do care about what some people think, but at the end of the day, I usually don't care what most people think. And that's because I've learned to just care about what you do, care about what you can do, and care about what you are doing. Be focused on yourself and be focused on what you're doing, and you'll be able to be successful. And I've become successful in my mind because I've been able to live in my future's life. Meaning I'm able to sit there in thought and write down what my daily life is like when I am successful. What kind of house I'm living in, what kind of cars I have, what kind of day I have, right? What kind of schedule I have, what kind of gym sessions I have, all of those things, what kind of water I might be drinking, what kind of skincare I have, what kind of towels I have, all those things. I'm able to see that. I'm able to envision that because that's where I want to be and that's where I am mentally, right? But at the end of the day, that's just not my life yet. And I know that is what my life will be because I think God, and I know God will bless me with that life. And I don't want to live that life just to have that life, right? I want to live that life to be able to have so much more than just the materialistic things, because things are so much more than material. I think having that financial freedom will help me have a release of emotion of always feeling trapped, of always feeling like I need to help everyone else, of always feeling like I have to just be going and working and working and working. Right now I'm realizing that I'm exchanging a lot of time, which is precious, for nothing. I'm getting nothing back out of some of the things that I do. I'm getting nothing back out of the time that I'm spending on people or the time that I'm spending just thinking about those things when I could be doing so much more. So I went on this journey of finding myself, and I went on this journey of being able to realize that I could spend my time worrying about myself and paying myself. Basically meaning I read books, I go on walks, I go to the gym, I come and do things like this by myself. I'm being able to be comfortable in my own skin because at the end of the day, I'm going to be the only person that I can guarantee my success is myself. I can't guarantee the other people that are in my life my success because this isn't their life to live. I've come to realize that, and it's been hard for me to realize that, because I do care about a lot of other people, but I was caring about them so much where I wasn't putting myself first. So now I'm able to put myself first when I do things most of the time because I still struggle with it, if I'm being real with y'all. So I'm trying to learn how to go about that and how to confront those emotions. And basically my main emotion I'm struggling with currently today and these past few months has been disappointment. And it's been like that my whole life. I'll see someone do something, even my mom or my dad or whoever the person may have been at the time, and I would be very disappointed in the action that they take because it's like, in my mind, that the action is not okay. In my mind, I don't see the point in doing that action or saying that thing or, acting that way, right? So I've always been like that, but it's just gotten worse the more and more I have thought about where I can be and what I could be doing. So I try to work hard and I try to get to the point to where I don't have to be around people that may disappoint me in any way, shape, or form. And it's not because I am condescending. It's not because I have a godlike complex. It's simply just because I want more for those people and I want more for myself. And it angers me when I see people do things that is very irritating and disappointing. I don't know if that's wrong for me to feel that way, but that's just how I feel. And I think God made me like that for a reason. God made me like that because I'm worth so much more and I could have so much more if I just stopped settling for less. And that's what I've come to realize. And I wanted y'all to hear this and I wanted y'all to give me y'all opinion about this, right? I don't think that there's a problem with you feeling the way you feel. I don't think that people should have the right to tell you how you're supposed to feel, how you're supposed to act, or anything like that. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to realize that, and you have to be able to realize that how you feel is also valid. And how you feel, even if it is you feeling that you don't like the way other people act, that's just what it is. I've come to realize that I'm not going to hold myself to some low standard because I have to be nice to people. I have to sugarcoat what other people do. I have to agree with what other people do. I don't agree with it. So what am I going to sit here and lie to you for? I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh yeah, I agree with you. I think that you were in the right, even though I have no reason to agree with you and I have no feeling in my heart that that was okay, but I'm going to sit here and lie to you about that. That's just not my character. I'm a very real individual. That's why I named this podcast The Real Talk Podcast. And that's why I say in every episode, this is the Real Talk Podcast where real people talk about the real. And at the end of the day, this is the real. And y'all are seeing this because I'm expressing it to y'all and I'm explaining to y'all how this impacts my life. And on my last episode, I was kind of just overly yapping, and trying to explain that basically it's not okay. And I'm not going to do that this whole episode. I'm not going to sit here and explain to y'all that my opinion is my opinion, because at the end of the day, it's my opinion. It's not your opinion, and you don't have a right to change my opinion, and I don't have a right to change your opinion. I'm just stating this so I can get y'all's take on it. I want to hear other people voice their opinion on it. Doesn't mean my opinion is going to change on it, though. I might have a difference in opinion based off of what y'all might say, but I'm not going to change totally because of that. And at the end of the day, I'm very set, and I very much do think that God has made me this way for a reason, for a greater purpose. And I think that there's a reason for that, because he knows that I can do so much more and I could be achieving so much more. So at the end of the day, I just wanted to get y'all's opinion on this. I wanted to talk to y'all about it, and I wanted to see what y'all might say. So I hope y'all could let me know what y'all think about that, and I hope y'all could work and go about how you want to go about achieving what you want to achieve in life. And you have to confront your true feelings, even if it's feelings of disappointment, even if it's feelings of anger, feelings of sadness, all those things. And I can talk about other feelings if y'all want to talk about them. Let me know down in the comments another feeling y'all want me to go over. Yes, I've gone through those feelings of anger. Yes, I've gone through those feelings of sadness. But right now, currently, I'm dealing with that feeling of disappointment. So let me know what y'all think in the comments about this video, and let me know what y'all think I should talk about next about this topic. What feeling I should talk about next that may be stopping you from becoming successful, or what feeling you may be going through that may be stopping you from becoming successful. You can let me know what that feeling may be, and I might be able to give y'all my opinion on it. And if y'all don't like that opinion, I do apologize. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what y'all think, and I will catch y'all in the next episode. I'm going to be back locked in. I be saying this every time, and I feel like I've been kind of more consistent than I was before. I feel like I took a month break or something, and that's not going to be happening. We back out here, we back locked in, and I'm done just saying it. I'm going to just show y'all, and I hope y'all are having a great life. I hope y'all can let me know what y'all been up to, maybe what's been transpiring in your life, maybe whether that be at work, whether that be in your business, whether that be at your home, whether that be in your mental, whatever it is that you're going through, you want to talk about. Don't be scared to share it in the comments. I'll like your comment and I'll reply to your comment. And yeah, let me know what y'all think about this episode. Let me know what topic y'all want me to talk about. And yeah, I'll catch y'all on the next video. Peace. This is the Real Talk Podcast, where real people talk about the real. And peace out.